Being brought to you in stereo on WVIZ, the first station in Ohio to bring you television in stereo.
WVIZ presents its 20th year of high school football. Tonight's game is made possible by the Cleveland Browns, proud supporters of high school football in the greater Cleveland area. The Pepsi-Cola Bottling Company of Cleveland, bottlers of Slice and Diet Slice. And the East Ohio Gas Company, the Sunshine People, who bring natural gas to more than 1 million people in Northeast Ohio. Heating homes, cooking meals, and providing energy for industry.
Tonight's game is a big one for the Berea Braves. At this point in time, we're 8-1. A victory tonight will give us the grindstone back where it belongs at Berea. And in addition to that, will give us a chance to get into the playoffs. And that's what we've worked for all year.
Tonight, this game to the Midpark Meteors means a 10-0 season, a Division I leaders place on the line, and could be the best school record in Midpark history.
And the coaches, of course, have said that they're going for a lot of different things, but there's the thing they're really aiming for. This is the Division I, Region I ranking for the football playoffs. Now, Midpark, being undefeated, of course, is number 1 with 127-plus points. Lakewood St. Ed's with 117. They're going against Elyria Catholic, who's got a 6-3 record. They'll pick up a lot of points there if they win. The Braves at 114. They've got to win this game if they want to even have a chance to make the playoffs, because Padua beat Trinity last week with 110 points, and they're going to be going against Benedictine. They win that one, they've got to be shoe-in. And, of course, you also have in 5th place is Warren Howland. Hi, everyone. Mike Massa along with Brian Powers. And, Brian, they've got that grindstone they're going for, undefeated record for Midpark. Berea can share the championship if they win here, because they've got the one loss. Midpark has none, and, of course, the championship, the playoffs. Everybody's aiming for it.
It really is. It's nice to see it come down to this last game of the year. Sister schools here in the conference, out in the community. As you mentioned, everything going, rolled up into one football game. Makes for a great evening of ball.
And we've got ideal weather for it. Now, the Berea Braves under Coach Tom Madsey, he's in his 20th year. Every year that you can bet that they're going to be right near the top. As a matter of fact, in the last 5 years, 4 years, they've either won or shared the conference title. And he's got a good ball club again this year, and he's got some young people in the backfield, led by Kevin Adams, his tailback. Quick and good moves.
Really good. It's a good offensive team. Kevin, the tailback, out of the I formation. He's quick, finding the openings in the defense. It's apparent that Midpark will have to contain Kevin with their 5-2 defense. He's the perfect type of back in the eye with a combination of power and speed. And also up in that line, you have to have the big guy, and they have it. You can see number 88, Chris Schweitzel. Chris will be at the offensive end position. They'll use a variety of sets. He'll work out of the split end position. He'll also be in the tight blocking set. He's the main target of quarterback Thomas in the Braves passing attack. And Mike, his ability to get open tonight, I think will be a key factor in the offense of the Braves, because they're going to have to open up with that football.
Well, he's a young man that's caught an awful lot of passes. But defense is still the name of the game. Offense can excite the fans, but defense is what pays off. And they have some linebackers on both sides of this football field. One of them is Tom Radovic. He'll be wearing number 40, a linebacker for Berea.
Yeah, Radovic is a good, strong linebacker. He'll be working in there. He's had a lot of mobility this year, can move with that ball. And he's the captain. He's been playing for a couple of years for Berea. He'll have to react to that inside running game tonight. He'll have to be able to stop the inside game, and they'll probably have to do some stunning and blitzing with the linebacker. I think a key is to see if he can stop the cutbacks of Sawinski. That'll be important. But they also have a strong secondary, and that's number 44, Matt Stevens. He'll work out of the safety position. Very aggressive back. And he'll be in the safety according to the offensive positions. He'll be a reactor back there, move into the monster back. Defensive backs will have to read their keys tonight if they want to stop that Midpark running attack so they don't over-pursue, and also be back there with their strong pass game and try for the interceptions.
Well, that takes care of Berea, the offense and defense. They can score and they can stop you on defense. Midpark 10-0. It's a dream season for Coach Standering. He's never gone 10-0, although they made the playoffs in '85. But he's got some beauties on this ball club. and he had to rebuild his offensive line. But he starts off with a new quarterback. Everybody else in the backfield's been there for 2 years. Matt Casto is his new quarterback and doing a magnificent job.
Matt, a very good quarterback, and of course he's got the strong tailback to go with it with Sawinski. But Casco, the quarterback, seniors, a great season for the Meteors, the I formation, the double wings, inside counter, outside option, you name it, they're all in the playbook for Midpark, and he's done a fine job and has mastered them in the quarterback position. He'll throw that ball 12, 13 times tonight if he has to keep the defense of Berea honest. And the tailback, Sawinski, out of the I formation, strong but shifty runner. He's the knack for cutting off his blockers with precision. Berea's 5-2 defense, and maybe some 4-4 we'll see, will have to key on Jim at all times. Mike, he's had 17 touchdowns, and that would have to give any defense feeling a little bit nervous out there, no matter what you're in your defensive set.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jim Sawinski is a magnificent running back, but still, again, it's got to be defense. And Midpark has a tough defense, but not only tough, but they're opportunists. They have scored close to, I think it's 7 touchdowns on defense, 2 interceptions, fumble recoveries, and blocked punts. And they also have some good linebackers in the person of Steve Call. He's another tough kid.
Number 51, Call, is a good, strong linebacker, usually in the middle, off to the left side in a 5-2 setup. And he has been very, very strong as far as defense is concerned. He should be in there to the left side. And I think the key with him, Mike, he'll have to stop fullback Vasanelli of Berea. I think they have to neutralize that inside game. In order for him to really be strong up the middle, he'll have to be in there. And also, he's going to have to blitz and do some stunning tonight, and they are capable of it. We've seen him do it before. Number 68, the right tackle, Dean Weber. In the tapes, we've watched him play, and we saw him in an early game against Brunswick. He's very active and aggressive as a defensive tackle. His strength enables him to be a strong pass rusher from the inside. He's also the kickoff man, extra point man for Midpark. Does a lot when he's called on. Good defensive ball player.
If you have to look at both teams, I think, Brian, you'd say that they near each other. They both have very potent offenses. Berea averages a little over 24 points a ball game, Midpark about 30. Defensively, Berea gives up a little over 10, Midpark exactly 7. They really mirror each other.
They really do, and you're going to see I formations, but I think you're going to see all the stops pulled out. No matter what happens tonight, it's a good night for football. Ball should be in the air. We do have a wind coming in from the south, cutting across the field. That may make some decision changes as far as the passing attack, but I'm not sure it'll be a factor in the game. Good, hard football, blocking and tackling. These kids are ready, as you can tell.
I'll tell you what, Brian, if you have to give an edge to either team, and I'm not picking anybody, it's the kicking game of Berea. Their punter is averaging about 40, and they've got a great field goal kicker in Burns. If there is an edge, that's it. Other than that, they're just dead even.
They're even. They're 2 good football teams. Comes down to the last week of the season. We've been talking about this since August. Here they are. These kids are ready.
And it's going to be a sellout as the Braves take on the Meteors. And Brian, I'll be back right after this timeout.
I told the witch doctor I was in love with you. I told the witch doctor I was in love with you. And then the witch doctor, he told me what to do. He said that...
I'm Peter Graves. Why is Dr. Sue Ferguson sawing snow? And discover the world of science. Find out how it helps her predict avalanches. Also, we'll see how a new genetic test can help prevent a tragic disease, why better manners in the airliner cockpit would mean fewer crashes, and we'll find out where sea turtles go to grow up. Join me next time on Discover the World of Science.
Wednesday evening at 8.
Hi, I'm Paul Warfield. I want to encourage all of you youngsters to make the right choices. And the right choice concerning drugs or alcohol is to say no. Drugs are negative. They can't help you to attain any of the goals that you want in life. So remember, the right choice is saying no to alcohol and drugs.
Say no to drugs. A public service message from WVIZ TV 25, concerned about Northeast Ohio.
And it sure is Halloween night, and I'll tell you, there'll be a lot of tricks being played on that football field. Hi, everyone. Mike Mance along with Brian Powers here at the George Finney Stadium, the campus of Baldwin Wallace College. Midpark won the toss. They've elected to receive. The Bears will kick off. They'll be defending that south goal. as we get ready for the kickoff. Their game is underway, and it's a big one. Deep kick. It goes into the end zone. Nagy chased it. Brad Burns put it right into the end zone. It's absolutely a perfect night for football. The only thing that you can complain about is that wind at 13 miles an hour, and it's coming straight out of the south. A little bit out of southeast. So the Berea Braves. Midpark in their Halloween costumes of the brown and orange, same colors of the Cleveland Browns. They'll take it over, first down. Castro will be the quarterback. He hands off to a running back. This is Steve Mario. He's in replacing Kramer. And we've got Konsek, Hoskin, and Bradish. And it's a Swinski, Kramer, and Fodor, all 2-year starters. Mayo replacing Kramer, and that is a good defensive line. Young, they started off, didn't play it last year, but they're tough this year. They open up big holes for Mario and Sowinski. The quarterback, Casto, has had 7 touchdown passes, and he can carry the ball. He's got 3 touchdowns on the ground. This goes to Sowinski. He goes over that left side, goes over the left tackle, and number 56, you see, Kevin Bradish in on the step. That'll bring up a 3rd and 4. Ball on the 26, and a good defensive line has had an awful lot of experience. The linebackers, again, are also tough as well as their secondary, with about 5 interceptions or 6 interceptions by the secondary for Berea. So big 3rd and 4. It's handoff to their fullback, Mario, number 85, and the defense just shut him down. Konsek, the nose guard, along with Tom Rakovic, brought him down, and that means that the Meteors of Midpark are going to have to punt. 4th and 3. Line of scrimmage is the 27. Kevin Adams will be back deep as you're looking at Nagy. Now they've got a different punter in. That's Carpalata. And it's going to take a Berea bounce. It is down at the Berea 48. The Braves will take over from that point in great field position. Not a very good punt. Your offensive backs, they are good ones. Kevin Thomas had to replace Novak, who injured himself in the first ball game, so he's done a good job coming in. And there is a big right side of that line. They average 230 from center over to end. Adams will be the tailback. Adams gets the call. Couple of quick little moves. He gets across midfield into Meteor territory, and they will down it at the Meteor 49. Dave Weber put the hit on Kevin Adams. The defensive line in that 5-2. Fauski was number 74. And he's a good one. He was their left tackle. He moves into nose guard. And they've got some strong linebackers in good size, especially Steve Call. The defensive backs, Urban, only a sophomore, has 7 interceptions. It'll be a 2nd and 7 for Berea. And in motion goes Adams. Out in the flats to Adams. He just had it on his fingertips and couldn't hang on. He'd have had a first down had he caught it. Thomas likes to roll out, especially to that right side when they put Adams in motion.
Like with putting him in motion, he moved out there. There was a nice block thrown by Chris Schweitzel, number 88, on the cornerback coming up. Would be Jim Sowinski, number 33, the fine running back, also playing both ways for Midpark.
Midpark only having 2 players going both ways, Sowinski and Todd Kramer at the left defensive end position. Big 3rd and 7. Thomas goes deep and broken up beautifully. It was intended for Hart. Breaking that up was Sowinski. He just played that beautifully.
Passing down on the play, quarterback faking to the fullback, rolling out to the right. Janis, the guard, comes out, gets in front of him. Kevin Thomas to the sidelines. Going down deep was the far out, wide out. Boris Hart, 85, down on the play. And again, that's Jim Sowinski, 33, coming up with a defensive gem.
Jeff Jones will be standing on his own 37, getting ready to kick to Sowinski and Urban. Jones averages about 40. Good high kick. Fair catch being called. It goes out of bounds. No, gets into the end zone. Went about 2 yards into the end zone, just inside the piling.
There's a
But
flag.
a flag is dropped at about the 25.
Receiving team. And there's the officials, Bob Blatchford, Ron Ochaki, the umpire, Larry DeMarto, linesman, lines judge, Mike Bober, and Tom Morgan, the back judge.
That was a 51-yard punt by Jeff Jones, and that's what I meant by the edge. If it has to go to anyone, as you look at Tom Standring, deep concern in his face. Very seldom does his team not get a number of first downs. His offense is averaging some 30 points a ball game, and they've been walking all over people. But the Berea Braves defense able to hold. Let's see what the decision is going to be made on this call. As we have a meeting of the minds, Steve Call. His number 51-88 is Chris Schweitzel, the end for Berea. Look at the stars on those helmets.
I didn't see the call, but it could be illegal fair catch signal. There it is.
Defense refused. First down.
Okay, it was refused. It was an invalid fair catch by the official, Bob Blatchford, making the call.
Which means that Midpark will take over. First down, the line of scrimmage will be the 20. 9:02 remaining, first quarter. Each team has had one possession, and both teams have had the punt. Twin backs for Midpark. This one goes to Sawinski, and they just shut him down. He may have even lost a yard. Konsek and Haskin in there, along with Matt Stevens, a safety, coming up very quickly. Sawinski is averaging just under 5 yards per carry on 169 carries in the first 9 games. So shutting him down can be tough. This is his second carry, and he has 5 yards. It'll bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Meteors at Midpark from their own 20. Pitch out to Sawinski. Tries to cut back. He does. Picks up yardage and gets the first down as he dives across the 30. Majeki along with Haskin and Dave DiBiasio were there.
See why Sawinski has picked up the yardage. 63 is Peronic, the guard, pulling. Also Mario, 85 on front. Good block by Mario, just enough so Sawinski, that's the cut I was talking about, off the blocker, and then just sheer determination does the rest. He moves with that football.
And they'll spot it just over the 31. First down. First down of the game is again Sawinski takes the pitch. He goes to the short side, picks up about 3 or 4. Gets close to the 35. Jakey again coming up very quickly. The linebacker, that's real good pursuit by the defense of Berea. The Braves very tough on defense, only giving up a little over 10 points a ball game. They come in 5-1 in the conference and 8-1 overall. 2nd and 7. Casto looking downfield, pulling this one in is Dan Bartel. Bartel, the split end, he gets to the 44-yard line of Berea. Great reception.
Passing formation, they had Bartel in there. They had Richardson, number 8, another split end out to the short side, roll to the wide side of the field. Bartel from the split end position going down across the field, just in the middle there. Dan, another pass reception, makes 27 on the year for him. Completion for Casto.
And that was Ramacone on the tackle. Another big first down. And the offense is in gear. This is a handoff to Sawinski. And they smother him with 3 football players. Number 68, Nicholson, grabbed him from behind.
Nice formation with Sawinski going in motion, gets past the guard position. Guard coming across, then pulls. Sawinski comes back on a counter play or short reverse. I didn't see them do that early in the year. Nice play call. Sawinski going through the line.
2nd and 6 now for the Meteors. The ball just inside the 40. A lot of pressure put on by number 56, Kevin Bradish, the defensive end, and forced that incompletion because he really put a shot on Casto. The intended receiver was Dan Bartel again. Bartel coming in with 26 receptions, averaging just a little over 14 per catch. Big 3rd and 6 now for Midpark. This goes to Joe Nagy. Nagy is hit by Rakovic, and he looks like he has enough for the first down. He does.
Nagy coming into the backfield and just a deep spot. Sawinski's out to the side. It looked like maybe a passing formation again, but they hand it off to Nagy, the 5'8", 170-pounder, up the middle, another way to get their first down.
He backs up Sawinski, and Nagy, a junior, at 5'8", 170 pounds. Line of scrimmage is the Berea 33. Fullback, Mario. Mario gets to the 30. Pickup of 3. Hit by Malloy. Konsek.
Like on the formation now, they're using Jim Sawinski, the tailback, over in the flanker position to the wing side, and they have Joe Nagy at the tailback and using Steve Mario, 85, the fullback position.
That makes a lot of sense. They've got to have at least 2 people keying on Sawinski. Sawinski's in the slot. He gets the call on that short reverse. Beautiful defensive job by Casey Konsek, the junior nose guard. He came darting in there and just chased Sawinski down, caught him low and brought him down just shy of the 30.
The reason the play broke down, as you can see, it's a pulling formation with Peronic coming across, and where he left, then the nose guard kind of slid down. The linebacker, Najeka, 55, came across and stopped the play with good defensive maneuver.
It'll be a 3rd and 7 as Casto looks, completes this one to Dan Bartel again. Dan doing a job. Matt Stevens on the stop. Boy, Bartel at 5'10", 170, the junior, gets up high.
Short side of the field, Matt Casco looking for one man. It's Dan Bartel, split end, coming across. Look how high he goes up for it. Paid the price for it, but he's happy the completion is there. Short yardage, though, looking at them.
So 4th and a yard, just shy of the first down. You go to Mario, your fullback. Look at this, they're going unbalanced to the left. Pitch out, goes to Sawinski. He cuts it upfield. They did not get it. The defense of Berea shut him down, led by Tom Rakovic with help from Dave Biasio. And Tom Mazzi's got to like that defense.
Well, they have to. What they did is they pulled the line from the right side over left, which made it a unbalanced to the left. They pulled Peronic, which means everybody's over there. Sawinski, the tailback, on the quick flip, just trying to power football up. Berea met it, line submarine under, made a good stop. They come up for their first down.
So they go in the 4th, because they were in 4th down territory, but the ball goes over on downs now to the Braves. First down to the 25. This one goes to Kevin Adams. He bowls over people at 5'9" and 175 pounds. The junior averaging on 152 carries, 5 yards per rush. Frank Chucky, the left tackle at 195, brought him down from Midpark. It'll be a 2nd and 8 after that 2-yard pickup. And now Adams, 3 yards on 2 carries. They've got Carpellotti is the end, split, far side, pitch back, goes to Adams. He's got some blockers in front of him, cuts it upfield, and he gets to about the 33 or 34. Sorry, gang, we had a power failure. Let me give you a quick recap. They went over on downs. That's when you left us. The clock is showing 1:06 remaining. The big play was a 41-yard pass from Thomas to Schweitzel, and now they've got a 2nd and 3. They give this to Adams, and Adams gets back to about the 14-yard line. That was Sawinski in on that stop. This drive started at the 26 when they took it over on downs. They got 1 yard in the next play. They picked up then 5 yards, and then they picked up a first down on a pass. And then they had that long bomb, the 41-yarder. So it's a big 3rd and 4. They go to Adams. He's so hemmed in. Good defense by Midpark, led by Steve Call, the linebacker. I'm certain they're going to bring out either Brad Jones, Jeff Jones, or Brad Burns to try for the field goal.
Well, it's the 4th down. They're trying to get timeout called from over on the bench to the team captain, before they make the decision. The kicker is out there. It's Jeff Jones for the field goal. They finally got the timeout call from the bench into the defensive captain. Timeout, the Braves of Berea.
Well, I think that's very wise. The wind is behind Berea's back. They'll be trying roughly a 37-yard attempt on a field goal. It's early in the game. The idea is to get on the scoreboard, so I imagine they'll stay in there and try for the field goal. But great defense on that. They got all the way down as far as the 13-yard line, and on 2 carries, they were not able to do much with it. So it means they'll be trying for the field goal. Getting ready to kick it will be Brad Burns, I think, or no, it's going to be Jeff Jones. He's 4 for 9 on field goals. His longest with 37 points as he gets that shoe ready. Look at the way that toe goes up. But he's capable of hitting from this distance. It's set on the 27 or 37-yard field goal from the right hash mark. Ladder is holding. Down, it's up, got the distance, and it is good. So the Braves of Berea light up the scoreboard first. With no time remaining on the clock, they take the lead 3-0. We'll be back for the start of the second quarter right after this.
Reach out and grab you.
Take a trip to Evolution's laboratory, a scattering of remote islands and the unique creatures that developed on them, from King Kong-sized tortoises to sea-grazing lizards, from vampire finches to their tool-using cousins. These are the animals that inspired a new view of life on Earth. Join us for How They Got There, the first of 3 programs about the Galapagos, next time on Nature.
Brought to you in stereo Sunday evening at 8.
Of all tales, the story of our planet's origin is the most awesome. We expect the mountains we climb and the ground we tread to be solid and permanent. So who could believe that the continent itself is on the move? This is a tale fundamental to life itself, of the ebb and flow of mountain ranges and the drift of continents around the globe.
Premiering Monday night at 9. WVIZ TV, Cleveland.
Yeah, welcome back to Finney Stadium, where some cheerleaders have an awful lot to cheer about. Braves have taken a 3-0 lead. The big play in that drive right before we lost power was that pass to Schweitzel from Thomas that covered 41 yards. We got now Brad Burns will be kicking off for Berea. Taking this one at the 11-yard line. Gets some running room, still on his feet, and is finally driven out of bounds. Joe Nagy gives the Meteors good field position.
Like in that first quarter for Midpark, they had 15 plays, 33 on the ground, 29 passing, a total of 62 in their 6 minutes and 40 seconds of possession. For Berea, they had 13 plays, 14 in the ground, 48 in the air for a total of 62. It's even. They had it for 5-20, 3 points on the board in the first quarter for Berea.
First down. This pitch back goes to Sawinski off to the right. Tries to cut it back, gets to the 40-yard line, and runs into Haskins. Also, Casey Konsek put the second hit on him to make sure he stayed down. And we got a flag on the play, and they're talking to Berea. Talking to Coach Standring, he said the thing they've got to do is not have any turnovers and don't make too many mistakes.
Well, they usually don't as a team. Now, of course, here's a penalty that took place here, and it's going to be going against the Midpark Ball Club.
Number 76, offense, first down over again.
Well, they'll take it all the way back to the 28. Closer to 29. It'll be a 1st and 20 for Midpark. This one's hands off to Joe Nagy. He gets just about the 30, where he runs into Tom Rakovic. There are two Rakovics, and they are cousins. Tom Rakovic, the linebacker, number 40 for Berea, and number 69 from Midpark, Jim Rakovic, and they're cousins. And they're about this close to the same size, except that Tom Rakovic has got about 30 pounds or 35 pounds on his cousin Jim, who's the center. As Casto gets it over the middle. Still on his feet, and he is wrestled down. Boy, talk about bulldogging someone and dragging him down. What a great job of tackling. The reception on that was the flanker, Dan Fodor, and Kevin Bradish just wrestled him down.
They had Sawinski out on the wing. Fodor came from the right side and really just came over the middle. The linebacker's left, and he gets some rough handling right in there. Number 56, Bradish, making the tap after the catch.
Bring up a 3rd and 13 from the 35. Again, Casto looks. He's going for Sawinski. Oh, just a little bit behind him. Turning around just a little bit too late was Dave Carpolotti. He turned one way and the ball went to the other. And if that had not been behind him, it'd have been a completion.
He would have had a chance to come back somewhat, but here you can see it's just a timing play. Casto throws it up high. Sawinski's going down. He just kept going. The ball was behind him to the back. He couldn't stop soon enough. Couldn't have a completion.
This is Steets who is punting. What a beauty this is. He drives Adams back all the way to the 20. Gets one tackle and gets to the 25, maybe the 26. And Berea will take over from that point. Todd Kramer in on the stop. Berea starts their 3rd possession from the 26. The earlier this evening, starting at 5 o'clock, the junior varsity played, and Berea came out on top, 22-6. Of course, the varsity hopes that's an omen. Pitch back to Adams. Got some blockers in front of him, but what a super defensive play by linebacker Steve Call. He just came charging in there.
You see why he has all those stars on his helmet, Mike, and he's going to get a couple more already. Steve Call, the senior, featured in the pregame, comes across linebacking position. They pull the guard. They had a linebacker on the go that time from the right to the left side. Came across. Adams didn't have a chance with a good defensive stick by Steve Call.
Call at 6 foot, 200 pounds, senior. And he's a field man who shot and disc in track. Good all-around athlete, as Thomas has a 2nd and 12. Throw intended this one for, I think it was Terry Elko. Yes, Elko, and Dave Weber was there to break it up. Dave is Dean Weber, the tackle's brother, younger brother, by the way.
Fired this kind of sidearm, just trying to get it across because the big guy's coming in. Had it too low, hit the linebacker in the hands. Happened so fast, didn't have a chance to react for the interception. There it is again. See how low and fast it was. Linebacker was just floating out into his zone territory.
It's a good thing that he did knock it down, because I looked like Myers was there. It could have intercepted. It's a 3rd and 12 now for Berea. Going long cross field. No possession. The intended receiver was Boris Hart. That defending Dan Urban, the sophomore.
The flanker is out to the left side. First of all, Thomas is looking to the right, but he knew he wanted to fire to Hart over in the corner. It's up there. It's high enough. It's right the out of bounds. Pass kind of floated away. 2 defensive men right there.
And 3rd down conversions now. Berea's 0 for 3 as they get ready to punt. Punting will be Jeff Jones. He had a 51-yarder last time. He shanked this off the side of his foot. It's going to go out of bounds at Berea's 46. Oh, talk about great field position. That was only a 23-yarder. $9:11 remaining, first half. Berea leading it 3-0. They have Dan Bartell in split far side. Casto gets it away, just misses the outstretched hands of Bartell. Back defending was Mike Ramacone, but that just a little too long for Bartell, even though he's 5'10".
Bartell is split to the right side. Peronic going out. Short roll out by Casto. One man down and out about 25 yards. Hit the sidelines is Bartell, but the ball hit the sideline before he did.
2nd and 10 for Midpark. From Berea's 46. The Bartell again, split to the far side, slot to the far side. Now the pressure being put on. Almost a super catch. The intended receiver was Bartell, but Kevin Bradish putting a lot of pressure on Casto and cost him, and Ramacone was defending.
Again, it's Casto looking for Bartell, and they really go to him, but this time it's across the middle with a dive. It looked like he was going to grab it and pull it in. Pressure from Ramacone, the defensive back, in there, and got just in the line of vision. Incomplete pass.
So 3rd and 10 now for the Meteors. This game is always a shootout. Goes short underneath. Swinski gets it, crosses the 35, gets the first down. The linebacker, Tim Najeka, finally brought him down.
Quarterback Casto, and he's looking for his halfback, Jim Sawinski, who is just going past the linebackers, almost staying over in the corner until there's a clear out down the field, taking a deep back. Short pass is completed. Casto now looks over to the bench, makes a final call, and they come out.
Big first down for Midpark. This is Sawinski on that flanker reverse again, or Nagy, make that Nagy. And he is thrown for a loss of about a half a yard. Kevin Bradish hits the first hit, and Casey Ronsek the second.
Coming back across, they're pulling a guard, and it's Nagy this time out on the wing and just comes across. The junior puts the head down, try to make some of the yards on his own. Nothing there. Good defense by Berea.
2nd and 10 for Midpark. Line of scrimmage is the 34. Casto looking deep and intercepted by Barry Kirk, and he's brought down at about the 7. Dragging him down was Dan, well, it wasn't Dan Foder.
Casto going back now was Foder was going down the middle. The pass is for Foder right in here. It gets past him, and a nice defensive play coming across with Kirk, the safety man who works on the right side. And then also down in there making the tackle was the wideout Ted Richardson, number 8, who made the tackle deep in the territory. Good interception.
Takes over from the 7. Big hole opens up. Carrying this one was Paul Vastinelli, and that is his first carry of the game. Took Urban and Myers to bring him down.
Just straight power football to the left side. Vastinelli, the fullback, can be a workhorse, picks up good yardage inside. They haven't gone to him, but I can see him going into that more times. That's his first carry for 12 yards. All the rest has been by the halfback, Kevin Adams.
So it's the 3rd first down for Berea, but they're leading in the ball game 3-0. This goes Vastinelli again. He crosses the 20, and they will spot it at the 22-yard line. 7 minutes remaining, first half. 3-0 to score. Berea got that in a field goal, a 37-yarder. Now they've got a 2nd and 7. We saw an earlier tape of Berea, and Vastinelli was carrying the ball a great deal, but he only has 89 carries, averaging 4 yards per rush. And now Adams gets the call. He picks his way. He gets across the 25, close to the 26, where Steve Paul was there to put the stop on him.
That's some tough yardage. If you get a chance, watch the center for Berea, Lance Ferentz, 260 pounds. Jerry Paulski, number 74, is 305 pounds, going at each other in the middle. The last couple times with Vastinelli carrying the ball, quite a matchup. Some pretty big guys going at him, Mike.
Pitch out. This one to Adams. Goes to the short side. Gets enough for the first down as he gets close to the 35. Scott Myers in on the stop, along with Dave Weber. So picking up good yardage now is Kevin Adams, the junior. So Adams now 25 yards and 10 carries. He's in the back, deep eye. This goes to Vassinelli. He comes off to the right tackle. He picks up big yardage, about 9 yards, as he gets close to the 45. Dave Zoldak, cornerback, had to come up to bring him down.
It's going back to some inside football, which they're so strong at. Vassinelli now hitting up in the middle. Remember the first quarter and most of their first series, they've been going wide or to the outside, but this series, the one before it, they're pounding up that middle. Some very good success.
5:20 remaining in the half. This goes to Vassinelli. He does get the first down. That's power football. Puts his head down and picks up a couple of tough yards. Deep call is there, but not soon enough, as Vassinelli gets to about the 46. This drive started at the 7-yard line as Tom Standring has not been behind very often this season that I can recall. He's looking for tendency sheets that he has there of what Berea is going to be doing, but they went to Adams so often. They were throwing in the first quarter, and all of a sudden it's a ground game with Vassinelli and Adams.
Moving up that middle, working inside the tackles.
Pitch back goes to Adams. Got a block in front of him. He throws it, and just through the hands of Kevin Thomas, the quarterback. Thomas pitches to Adams. Adams throws it to Thomas.
They wanted something on there. So here's a pitch out now to the halfback, Adams. He really didn't go quite far enough, and he had to fire to the side. Now, Kevin Thomas, after getting rid of it, went to the far side, which would have been his offensive left, going up trying to be a receiver on the play. They ran out of some room. You can see that Kevin set up a little soon, but I guess he had to.
You better believe he had
because
to.
of the pressure. And there's the halfback trying to hit a quarterback.
2nd and 10 for Kevin Thomas. Over the middle, pulling this one in, Schweitzel. Schweitzel gets close to a first down. Loose ball! And recovered by Dave Steets, who now is at monster back. That's the first big break for Midpark. And that's a turnover against Berea, and the turnovers now are even.
You see a nice pass play from Thomas to Schweitzel. Big guy over the middle on the play. The pass is completed. There's the quarterback getting rid of it. The tall end by himself just starts putting it away. Goes up there, takes a hit from the shoulder on the ball. It's half pulled out. Steets is coming up from the safety spot. He's got it, and they come up with the ball.
I don't know who stripped that, but he did a good job. This is to Slowinski. And with sheer power and second effort, he crosses the 45 to the 47, dragging Brian Malloy along with him. Slowinski at 5'11", 160 pounds, has an awful lot of power, and apparently his jersey is been torn. He may be coming off the field so shortly.
I think probably the string on the inside of the shoulder pads is what it is. He lost the shoulder pads. He's trying to get them back, get them fixed. He wants to get back out there.
We have Nagy in a tailback. Open downfield is Hart. He gets enough of the first down if he stayed in bounds. He did. He gets all the way to the 44. Ramacone was defending, but Castro laid it in there beautifully.
Castro fires that ball. You can see good arm control on it. Zipped it off there, which you have to do. Good position. You just where his feet were. Bartell split end to the wide side.
Headsy catch by this one on the other side, trapped. It's a little low. This is intended for Joe Nagy, the tailback, but a lot of pressure put on Castro by Casey Konsek, the nose guard.
Again, just to the wide out. These receivers anymore know just how many steps it is to the sideline, when to turn, the timing play with the quarterback. This time the pass was just a little bit low. Nagy didn't have a chance to curl underneath it.
It's going to be a 2nd and 10. Line of scrimmage with the Berea 44. This one goes to Nagy. And a flag is dropped. It may be against the Braves.
Now, Mike, usually it's a holding when it comes out there. There's usually someone in front. Preliminary call will be a holding penalty against the offense to the burst up in the middle that time with the man in motion coming up to the middle.
And that's the second penalty against the Meteors of Midpark. as opposed to no penalties against Berea. So the mistakes are starting to hurt. The one interception.
76 offense. Repeat second down.
76 is John Schobel, the senior, the right tackle. So it'll be a 2nd and 13. And then the draw play, Donaghy. Boy, he is really hit by Rakovic just as he started to make his cut. Rakovic just put a picture tackle on him and brought him down. So Kevin Radish is also winning that stop. Number 56, 6 foot, 175-pound senior. It'll be a 3rd and 11 now for Midpark. They're down by 3 with 3 minutes remaining in the half. They're sitting on Berea's 45. Casto looks, 2 men this side, goes across the middle, completes this one to Richardson. And Richardson gets the first down all the way down to the 27.
A little extracurricular work going down there, but it stands. Ted Richardson, number 8, who comes in at split end position. A lot of times they have both split ends, Bartell and Richardson. Pass is thrown, it's completed. While we're watching this, a flag was just thrown down on the field. Completion stands. Officials now are talking to Berea, and we'll have their decision here as soon as they sort it out.
Well, it's against Midpark. That nullifies that great catch by Richardson. That's his 6th of the season.
Personal foul. 76 offense, 3rd down.
That's 2 in a row on Schweibel. Or Schobel. Sorry about the mispronunciation, but that brings up a 3rd and 22. And now the ball is back into Midpark territory at their 44. Short pass, pulling this one in is Bartell. And he draws the crowd as he gets to the 45 of Midpark, led by Tom Rakovic, the 2-year starter at 215. A very sure tackler and super linebacker. Clock is running, 2:20 to go. First half, Berea with that field goal, 37-yarder, is the only scorer we have on the scoreboard. It's going to be a 4th and 11, which means a punting situation. You're looking at Carpolati and number 42 and Adams as Steets kicks it away. And it's going to go out of bounds at about the 15, 16-yard line. So Berea will start deep in their own territory. But they've got that 3-point lead, and we're just inside 2 minutes remaining in the half.
Sure is a lot cuter than our stat person.
Yeah, well,
what are you
we
going
can
to do?
say some other things. He carries pencils in his mouth well. That's the sheet she works with, a little bit smaller than Kent's, but so vital. Let's see if they just get conservative. They do. Give it to Adams. He goes over the short side of the field. The left side gets close to the 20-yard line, and they'll attempt to burn out the clock. Still running, down to 1:45 now.
See if Midpark allows him to do it.
So Adams with 11 carries, 29 yards, and Midpark is not calling a timeout. And the defensive coordinator just signals in what he wants the defense to do. They could burn this out. The time, that is. This goes to Vestinelli. He puts his head down. It's about 4 meteors who just come swooping down on him, led by Steve Call. He gets across the 20, maybe to the 22-yard line. And now, Coach Standering,
Coach Moore,
who was smiling, but not too upset. He's only down by 3.
Well, they got the timeout. They wanted to call it a little bit sooner. By the time he got in there after the play, when the captain turned around and saw the coaching staff calling a timeout, they relayed it to the officials, made a timeout. And of course, what they're doing with 1:15 is, with a 3rd down, they want to force the punting situation where they can put their rush on, as we've seen so many times, and at least get a chance to go with that ball before the end of the half. But Tom Madsey doesn't want that to happen. From the other side, he wants to talk to his key offensive personnel on his 3rd down and say, hey, we got a 3rd and 5. We can punch it up there, get our 5, then we can control this for a first half of football.
Well, there was Steve Mario in there. He's got a block punt for a touchdown already. I told you that they have scored 5 touchdowns by the defense. Weber, block punt, again for a touchdown. They've had some interceptions. So they've got the defense to do it. and it could very easily happen. When they get back to action, the clock will start with 1:15 remaining in the half, with Berea Head needing a 5 yards for a first down. It's a 3rd and 5 from their own 21. But the idea is not to make any mistakes down this end of the field. Of course, they've got the punter in Jones, who averages 40 yards. He's handed off to Adams. Adams gets the first down as he gets all the way to the 35. He can break this one. Chasing him is Zoldak. And he's finally brought down from behind. Bringing him down was Scott Myers. Zoldak had the angle on him, but he missed it. Scott Myers brings him down from behind, and he gets all the way to the 10. What a piece of running.
Here's Kevin Adams to the outside. It's 3rd and 5. He's looking for it now.
Flag.
There is a flag down the end of the field, but it won't stop this as we watch this play, because there he breaks loose. He's going down now. Official going down right with him. There's one man to the outside to beat. He has to come back inside, and you can see the speed now. That's where he made the step, and Myers caught up with him, made the play, but they're walking it back right now. Referee Bob Blatchford and the crew coming down, and it is going against the offense of the Berea Braves. So a lot of excitement, a lot of work, but it comes back down.
That's the first penalty against Berea.
Up on number 80, the offense. Repeat 3rd down.
Let's see if we can find this clip on this replay.
Well, if it takes place, it's going to be right in here someplace. A lot of bodies just went down right there on the corner of our screen, but it doesn't nullify what is a beautiful run to watch, but the play is nullified. It comes back. There's the official Morgan right down there. Look at the speed that he has. Nifty footwork.
You saw this Adams break that tackle, but it's 3rd now. Adams tries the same thing. Almost gets the same results, but he's dragged down, and he may have had to get a first down. They do. Enough for the first down. I don't really understand it. It was 3rd and 5. They called it back. It's 3rd down again, but there was no penalty.
Yes, it was from the point of
the
infraction.
Foul. Okay, you're right.
We marked it off here. That's what we said at the corner when we saw it. Moved it back, but they got their first down on the next play.
Just Thomas got caught by Todd Kramer, defensive end, as he was running forward. Kramer at 6'2", 175, put that strong arm out and just tripped him up.
Schwitzel and Hart were down deep. Here's Kevin Thomas, and of course his instructions, they better be wide open. Don't let go of it. He got nailed.
And that ends the first half with the score, Berea 3, Midpark nothing. We've got a great halftime show for you, and we'll be back to bring it to you right after this.
I don't know where I stand, and then you smile and hold my hand. Love is kind of crazy with a spooky little girl like you.
Tonight's game is made possible by the Cleveland Browns, proud supporters of high school football in the greater Cleveland area. The Pepsi-Cola Bottling Company of Cleveland, bottlers of Slice and Diet Slice. And the East Ohio Gas Company, the Sunshine People, who bring natural gas to more than 1 million people in Northeast Ohio. Heating homes, cooking meals, and providing energy for industry.
And welcome back to George Finney Stadium at the campus of Baldwin Wallace College, as the Pride of Berea marching band gets ready to entertain you under the direction of James Fadali. The PA announcer will be James Fadali Jr. Let's go down and enjoy the halftime show.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present the Pride of Berea, the 1986 Berea High School Marching Band. Mike Kittredge. flag bearers and band display their awesome sound power. Light up. Our final presentators features the band members and the flag bearers to a song which has made this band famous this year. This is Sioux Studio.
What a magnificent job by the marching band, Pride of Berea. There's a lot of enthusiasm and movement on that field. If you think this football game is a shootout, these bands have their own kind of shootout at halftime. The competition is keen. well-deserved round of applause from both sides of this packed house here at Finney Stadium for the Pride of Berea marching band under the direction of James Fadali and the announcer, James Fadali Jr. Our thanks for a very entertaining halftime. Talk about conditioning, huh? And across the field, getting ready to entertain you, will be the Pride of Midpark. By the way, the Berea Braves have played down there for the Cleveland Browns, and they've also played at the Woolly Bear Festival, with Dick Goddard and his Woolly Bears. But the 4 numbers will be played for you by the Pride of Midpark under the direction of Scott Rovniak. The announcer will be John Brzezowski. Let's go down to the field and enjoy this halftime and see who wins the Battle of the Bands.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the 1986 Midpark Meteor Marching Band with Head Majorette Lisa Brooks, Rifle Captain Paul Salanti, and Flag Captain Michelle Rosinski. The band is led by Field Commanders Jody Short and Christina Theodore and is under the direction of Mr. Scott Rovniak, assisted by Mr. John Brzezowski. Tonight we open with Topaz, featuring Mark Weiler on trumpet. Jody, Christina, is the band ready? Now take center stage with their routine to the Phil Collins hit single, Susudio. The band honors the 25th anniversary of Midpark High School with the playing of our school alma mater. Singing tonight is senior Tina Silvaggio.
I'll tell you, that is magnificent. Both bands just doing an absolutely magnificent job. The pride of Midpark under the direction of Scott Rovniak. The announcer was John Brzezowski. And you make the decision who won the Battle of the Bands. Both are magnificent jobs. Oh my, what a magnificent job. Our thanks to the band director of Berea, James Vidali, and the director from Midpark, Scott Rovniak. Great halftime show. The score at the end of the first half, Berea 3, Midpark nothing. We'll be back at the start of the second half, but first, these messages.
And all my love is kind of crazy with a spooky little girl like you.
WVIZ TV, Cleveland.
As we get ready to start the second half, Berea's got that 3-point lead, and it's trick-or-treat night. As you see, part of the 10,000 people have jammed in here to Finney Stadium for the battle of the Berea school system, the sister schools who have shared the conference championship last year. Midpark won the game last year, 31-7, to get to share that championship. This is the 23rd edition of this battle here in Berea. The deep men we're looking at for Berea will be Adams and Elder. Kicking will be Dean Weber. There comes Dean. And he can really put the foot into it. He is good size. Also is a tackle. He's 6 foot 194 pounds. They're playing for so many things, including the Grindstone Trophy. I'll explain that a little later. Elder loses it, picks it up at the 10. Gets a little bit of breathing room. He could have been dropped all the way back at the 10, but gets out to about the 13-yard line. So Berea will take over to start the second half from that point.
We can see the stats in that first half with 6 first downs for Berea, Midpark 5. Difference there in the rushing yardage, a little bit higher for Midpark in the passing, very even there. Penalties, 3 for 35, really hurt Midpark in one of their drives. Time of possession very close, 3-0 on the board, Berea on top.
And they've got a full house backfield for the first time. This goes to the fullback, Vassanelli. Vassanelli crosses the 15 or 16, runs into Steve Call, that great linebacker from Midpark. Vassanelli at 6 foot, 190 pound senior, is a 2-year starter. He's got 2 touchdowns to his credit. Good all-around athlete, especially baseball. So with that 4-yard pickup, that'll make it a 2nd and 6. Line of scrimmage is Berea's 18. Again, Vassanelli, he breaks it. He's at the 40, it's going to be a foot race. He crosses the 40, the 30, the 20. Swinsky chasing and dives and misses. Paul Vassanelli with an 82-yard run from the 18 to the end zone, and what a great effort by Sawinski, but just a step slow. And that gives the Berea Braves a 9-0 lead with only 1 minute and 3 seconds gone here in the second half. This will be Jeff Jones trying for the point after. Dave Carpolati will be holding. It's up, deep, and good. So with 10:50 seconds remaining on the clock, it's a 10-0 score with the Braves on top.
When it happens quick. It's just the fullback up the middle, and he was so strong at the middle of the second quarter when he started to run that ball. Vassanelli now taking off, shifts the ball to the outside. There you can see one of the guards going down. Chasing him now is Sawinski, who is a very fast halfback, as you know, coming across from the other side. Vassanelli just going. Sawinski makes the final, but it was too late. Vassanelli goes in with 6. It happened quick for Berea right after the kickoff. 10-0, extra point by Jones, good.
Brad Burns will be teeing it up for the Braves. Back deep, we have Sawinski and Joe Nagy. Sawinski will be at the top of your screen, the far side of the field. Nagy to the near side, to the left of your screen. Burns kicked one into the end zone. This one is going to go to Sawinski at the 3. And he's brought down hard as he gets back to the 20. Dave DiBiasio brought him down. So Matt Casto, when he comes on the field, is going to have his hands full. They're down by 10, the Meteors. And he'll have Sawinski in the backfield. He'll have Mario at the fullback, and he'll have Dave Fote at the flanker. Bartell will be the split end. We've got a lot of football ahead of us. We've got 10 minutes and 48 seconds to go in this quarter, the third quarter.
That scoring drive, just 2 plays going all the way there with a long run by Vasinelli.
This is the Sawinski. Gets off that pile, goes to the outside, crosses the 25, gets to the 27th, and Mike Ramacone hits him first, and Barry Kirk comes up to help finish the job. That was a 7-yard pickup for Sawinski. He now has 31 yards on 9 carries, well below his normal production, but you've got to credit the defense of Berea for that. 2nd and 3. Ball on the 28. Pitch out to Sawinski. And he is held shy of the 30. Brian Malloy in on that stop.
Trying to go to the outside, but Kevin Bradish, 56, is playing the defensive right end. He came across and really turned the play in, so Sawinski didn't have any chance to go to the outfield on the outside, so the players from the inside came in and cleaned up.
Midpark will have a 3rd and 2 from the 29. This one goes to Sawinski again. He gets the first down and more. He is tripped up early, and hitting him again was Dave DiBiasio as Sawinski was on the way down.
Sawinski is so dangerous out here. Now he's to the outside. He's almost caught. He moves out. Dan Foder throws a nice block out there trying to spring the fine back. He held his block, couldn't hold it quite long enough. They made the stop. But again, Midpark moving. That's what they have to do, is just keep moving at the ball. Try not to take too much at one time.
We've got Bartell split to the near side. 1st down. Going for Bartell. And he grabs it. He can break this one. And he's going all the way. No flags that I see on the field. And Midpark gets on the scoreboard. Dan Bartell, his 4th touchdown reception of the year. And that is his 4th reception of this game for 47 yards plus that one. So now it is a 10-6 score. As Gene Weber will try the point after. Bartell comes back in the lineup. Holding will be Castro. And a flag is dropped.
Yeah.
It's going to be against Berea, if you believe the applause of Midpark. Offsides or encroachment, probably. So that'll give the half the distance.
Ball number 88.
And they're going to call a timeout,
Right.
Midpark is, to see if they want to go for 2 here.
It gives you an option. Sometimes you don't like to have this much time. What they do, of course, it's a half a distance, so they're moving it up. They're that much closer now. You have a score of 10-6. For 1 point, 10-7. You still have a chance. Of course, a lot of time left in the game, but you have to think ahead. Field goal would tie it up, but if it's 10-8, then a field goal, you could go ahead. So it's something to think about. That's why the timeout. They'll settle it down. Here's the pass now. Casto firing that ball to Dan Bartell over the middle. He's hitting the deep spot in there and almost upset by Ramacone, but he gets away. Bartell takes off then on a 62-yard jaunt. The TD is good. Extra point was ready for the kick. Encroachment call or offsides lining up, and they call a timeout to decide what they're going to do, and it's all out there now, and we're going to get to see it.
Well, it looks like they're going to go for the 2. Now you've got fullback Steve Mario at 6'2", 205. He's number 85. He's in the lineup on the right in that split backs. They go to Sawinski. He did not make it. No. The defense from Berea held. Tom Rakovic filled that hole immediately and stopped Sawinski from getting in. Big play because it now is a 4-point lead for Berea. But 9 minutes to go in this quarter.
But here's where you can pick up the 6 points, and that's what's so important. Remember, we had 2 good runs in there. Sawinski moving that ball for the first downs. This time they opened it up, and there you can see Ramacone up high for the interception first, trying to make the tackle, slides off. Dan Bartell to the outside. He's off to the races. No one's going to catch him. That's their 6 points on the board, and they had the timeout. They made the decision. Of course, they'd like to have that extra point, or points, but they'll take the 6. They're right back in here. A lot of scoring in just a couple minutes here in the third quarter. BW.
You're looking at Kevin Adams in the near side and Kenny Elder, the far side. This is Dean Weber. And the ball falls off the tee as the Meteors come flying down the field. So they'll do it all over again. I wonder if that was a Charlie Brown play on that one, huh? 9 minutes exactly remaining in this third quarter. 10-6. Berea on top. Deep kick. Adams gets it right at his shoe tops. Oh, gets good yardage. Gets across the 30 to the close to the 33-yard line. Berea Braves will take over from that point as Scott Myers brought him down. It didn't take them very long either, did it? 79 yards, a great pass, 62-yarder to Hart. And he does get up high, doesn't he? Correction, that was not Hart, that was Bartell. First down for Berea. Pitch back. This one goes to Adams. He's got a block in front of him. Flag is dropped way back at the 35 as Adams is forced out of bounds at the 43. Bringing him down was Dan Urban, the sophomore safety. And a holding call, preliminary call against Berea.
It's a quick pitch to the outside, the close side of the field. Like to pull a tackle on a play like that. Yes, they do. Tackle is out there in front is Willis. The holding call right in the middle. I think the man is already down. The flag has been thrown. It'll nullify Kevin Adams' fine run to the outside. Be marched off.
Number 88 offense. First down over again.
That was their tight end, Schweitzel. And that is the third penalty for a total of 40 yards against Berea. So first and 19. Thomas over the middle. This one to Vessinelli. Boy, he just drags people as he gets to about the 42 and close to the original line of scrimmage.
We catch this again. They were a split backfield. I believe Vessinelli came out of the backfield, though I couldn't tell exactly where he came from the right side. Curl over into the middle. The fullback has the ball. Nice move in there. Good pile driving to pick up an extra 5 or 6 yards.
Second and 10 now for Berea. This is Adams. Just slips one tackle, gets close to the 40, about a couple of yards shy of a first down, where Urban again was in on the stop. So Dan Urban, 5'8", 165-pound sophomore, doing a good job coming up very quickly, or else Adams would have had enough for a first down. They'll spot it between the 39 and the 40. Make it a 3rd and 2. Quick hitter across the middle, first down. This is Schweitzel who brings that. Yeah, sorry, we had another power outage here. So I'll just bring you up to date very quickly. There was a 5-yard pickup after we lost power by Vessinelli. That took it from the 50 to the 45. Then an 8-yard pickup by Adams. And now a 2-yard pickup by Vessinelli. That brings you up to date. So the Berea Braves will have a 2nd and 8. And that 8-yard pickup by Adams gave them a first down. Clock is showing 6:01 remaining third quarter. 10-6 the score. So we only lost 3 plays. As Thomas wants to throw again. He is going deep. Looks like Carpellotti could have been open. Going back with him was Urban, but it was slightly overthrown. And as you see, the junior, Dave Carpellotti, at 6 foot, 150 pound, good super all-around athlete, basketball, baseball player. He comes in and gives the flanker Hart a rest occasionally. So now it's a big 3rd and 8. Third down conversions. Berea is 3 of 6. Adams comes in motion. Thomas is going to be sacked. good play. Breaking him down was Kramer, number 42, who helps up Thomas, and also Frank Chalky. So the left end and left tackle, respectively, came in untouched. And that's going to bring up a 4th down and a punting situation for the Braves. Back deep, we're going to have Sawinski and Urban. And Jeff Jones will be punting from his own 46-yard line. Good high kick, good hang time. They're going to let it bounce, and it bounces into the end zone. So that was a 46-yard punt by Jones, who's had 3 punts, 149 and one he shanked for 23 yards, and now this 46-yarder. Midpark will take over, 1st down from their own 20. Casto hands off the fullback, he lost it, and recovered by Berea. Pulling that one in was Rakovic. I don't think that Nagy had full control of that ball from the handoff from Casto.
Nagy that time was in the fullback position. Sawinski was in the tailback, a little different than we saw. Handoff once from Casto to Nagy, just didn't quite have it. If we can see it here. Now here's the handoff. Quarterback putting it in there. He lost it immediately. Not an exchange that you'd want to see. Rakovic, the linebacker, came up with a fumble recovery for Berea.
And they have it 1st down from Midpark's 18. This one goes to Adams. Gets outside and forced out of bounds at about the 3, and a flag is going to be dropped, and it could be against Dan Urban. Zoldak was also in the area to bring him down, but there was a late hit.
So after the fumble recovery, Berea trying to strike as fast as they possibly can. Cross action inside. Kevin Adams going to the outside, trying to go into the pylon. Moved it down right to the outside, couldn't get into the goal line. Then he was hit. Official threw the flag. They haven't given us the call yet. We know it goes against the defensive ball player, so it'll be half the distance there, which brings it as close as you can
foul. Number 16, defense.
Personal foul.
Well, now you've got Bessinelli, you've got Adams.
And you have Thomas.
And you have Thomas. This one goes to Adams. He vaults over into the end zone. That is Kevin Adams' 13th touchdown of the season, and gives the Braves a 16-6 lead. Boy, they did strike in a hurry. Only a couple of plays on that after that recovery.
All it took was 2, and here it is from the tailback position. Kevin Adams, 43, going up, going over, going across. 1-yard TD run.
Trying for the point after will be Jeff Jones. Jeff is 6 of 9 coming into the game. Up, it's going to cost him 5 yards. The number 72, Dom Fabrizi, jumped off.
Dead ball, illegal procedure, offense.
So that'll cost him 5. Which means that they'll spot the ball at the 12 now. And Jeff Jones will be trying his field goal or his extra point, but he's got the range. He's had field goals already, 4 of 9. His longest is 37 yards. Boy, does he have the leg, doesn't
he? He drill it. It's still all the way back into the far end of the track here at Finney Stadium on Ball and Wallace campus.
I mentioned there is Coach Tom Madge in his 20th year, does a magnificent job. You'll always find him right near the top of the Pioneer Conference. The Grindstone Trophy started 23 years ago when Midpark was built. It was donated by the police department, I think it was, from Brook Park, because this was a stone quarry at one time, and they used to make the grinding stones, and that's the trophy that they're fighting for. You heard Tom Manzi, if you're with us on the open, saying that he wants to get that trophy back in Berea where it belongs, because Midpark picked it up last year. So it's just predicated upon this game. The series, I said 23 years ago, it stands 12-11. If Berea wins this game, they'll be tied at 12 apiece. So now it's a 17-6 ball game. 11-point lead for the Braves with 4:42 remaining in this third quarter as Brad Burns gets ready to kick to Sawinski and Nagy. Good high, deep kick. Nagy lets it go out of bounds, out of the end zone. Now, Burns is the other kicker for Berea. He is 17 of 18 for extra points, and he's had 3 of 6 field goal attempts. So he's got a whale of a leg as well as Jeff Jones. Look at that, 19 seconds.
Doesn't take
long.
long.
Scoring in a hurry. Midpark will start off from their own 20, first down, but they've got an 11-point deficit. And they've got 2 wide receivers to the far side. This one, they tend this one for Bartell, and he started running before he had full control of the ball. Okay, we're back. We lost power again. That's the third time. I hope that's our chime, and it doesn't happen again. You saw the first incompletion. There was a pass from Casto to Bartell from the 20 to the 27. They had a 3rd and 3. Sawinski took it, and he was held. So it's going to be 4th and 2 now for Midpark, and they call their second timeout of this half. Gives them only 1 remaining, and they're down by 11.
The timeout they could ill afford to call, but I think they only had 10 men on the field. Seeing going out there now is Joe Nagy to complete the unit, and there's nothing you can do because you couldn't take a chance and have a punt block. You have to call a timeout. They called one after their touchdown. They decided to go for the 2 points. Coach Tom Standring, head coach from Midpark, great record out here for the Meteors. Of course, undefeated coming into this game, and right now with the score, Berea 17, Midpark 6, and they're in punting formation.
Yeah, Tom Standring coached it. John Marshall was the junior high coach out here, assistant varsity coach, took over the head job some 6 years ago. He was a great athlete in his own right, played at Rhodes High School in Cleveland. But in the last 4 years, they've only lost 4 bowl games. Getting ready to punt will be Nagy, and Carpellotti and Adams are back deep for the Braves of Berea. High snap. Get it away. Adams takes it at the 42. Puts a couple little moves on. He's got the speed to get outside. He cuts off between 2 Midpark defenders, and he gets all the way to the 49-yard line of Midpark. He should have been brought down close to his own 35.
Initial man that hit him just kind of bounced off him. Kevin, very strong runner as well as quick to the outside, and that wall started to form to the far side. He just about got to the outside, but just slicing in, they got in on a chance. Took Adams down in a good punt return. There it is, and everybody chases him, going to the outside. Good, strong runner. Adams going to get nailed right here as they're ready for offensive action.
And Adams gets the call again. He goes off that right tackle, and he gets smothered as he gets close to the 45. Steve Call had his nose in that play, as he does about every defensive play for the Meteors. There you see the respect that Adams has for the defense of Midpark. That was a 39-yard punt by Nagy. That was a good one. But now Berea has a 2nd and 7 from Midpark's 46. Thomas had an idea to throw, nobody there. Mario hits Thomas as he gets to the 45. So it'll be a 1-yard pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd down play with 2 minutes and 17 seconds remaining in this 3rd period. And Berea enjoying that 11-point lead, 17-6. And the points have all been scored on big plays.
Really have been exciting plays, and passing attack has been very strong for Berea.
In the flats to Adams. Oh, what a collision. That was against Scott Myers. Adams really ran into Myers.
You see it again. What it is the tailback just is going now in a long depth, so he's coming straight up the field. When he receives it, he gets by the one man, and here's where the collision takes place. That's Scott Myers and Kevin Adams. A lot of contact on that play.
And a 4th down and no first down, so it'll be a punting situation. That's Jeff Jones standing back at his own 44. He heads for Coffin corner. Good high kick again. They're going to let it bounce, and it goes into the end zone again. That was a 41-yarder for Jones, who averages 40.5 on 27 punts coming into this game. And so far in this game, he's got a 49-yarder, 46-yarder, 41, and he had one shank for 23.
Midpark coming up in the offense. They'd like to get a little more distance. They're always starting back there on that 20-yard line, or very close to it every time they come up with a football.
Well, that's what we said in the top of the show. The kicking game could be an advantage that Berea may have. This is Sawinski, and they just spread that out. He couldn't find any place to go. But that kicking game is really magnificent because Jones keeps them at the 20. They just can't get any field position. They started the last few drives from their own 20. As a matter of fact, this is the 3rd time, and the time before that on the kickoff, they started at their own 21. So they've always had a long way to go. On the drop play, great defensive play by Casey Konsek, the nose guard. He came in and gets a sack against Matt Casto.
Well, I don't know what happened there, but nobody touched him coming in. I don't know if quarterback went the wrong way. It looked like just a missed-blocking assignment. I don't think we'll be able to catch it in here, but you can see he just went right by everybody. There was no one there to block him. You can't let a nose guard come in that quick because all the timing is taken care of. Konsek really put a hard hit on the quarterback, but also down on the play, working out of the right side. Tony Camarada, number 90, 225-pounder, down, checking him over.
You know, the one thing you say about this Berea Braves, defensively, they thought they had a lot of good young kids coming back. But Konsek is a junior, and then they have a junior, Najeka, the linebacker. Ramacone is a junior. So the defense, most of the people have a lot of experience, only starting 2 juniors. So that sack takes them all inside the 15, between the 15 and the 14-yard line. That'll bring up a 3rd and 16 for Midpark. 3rd quarter, clock showing 24 seconds. We'll be running out of time after this play. And let's see if Casto wants to take to the air. He does. He looks over the middle and just a little bit behind, right through the hands of Steve Mario, the fullback, coming out of the backfield, and he could not hang on to it. And that stops the clock on the incompletion with 16 seconds to go, and they've got a 4th and 16. So they'll have to be kicking, which means that Midpark will end up in excellent field position. And that is Nagy, who will be standing inside his 5. Back could be standing right in the end zone. Back deep, we have Adams and Carpelati. Going for the block. Going to be a short kick. And Adams wisely lets it roll. Wanted to take it on the fly, but Midpark, or Berea, will take over 1st down from Midpark's 41-yard line after a 30-yard punt.
Again, good field position for the Braves. Coach Tom Madzi coming up with the ball. Midpark unable to move that ball except for the one long run pass that they had from Casto to Bartel at the early in the 3rd quarter.
Well, that ends the 3rd quarter with the score. Berea 17, Midpark 6. It's been a great 3 quarters of football. Every time these 2 teams meet, it's a shootout. We'll be back with the start of the 4th quarter right after this.
Embark on an unprecedented journey with the Africans as renowned author and scholar Ali Mazrui looks at the causes of Africa's internal conflicts.
Mr. Tambo says this year will be a year of violence. This year, comrades, the keynote is violence and the slogan is attack.
The Africans.
Watch The Africans Tuesday night at 9.
Welcome back to George Finney Stadium. Mike Massa along with Brian Powers. And we have ourselves one whale of a ball game. Sid coming in, you can throw the record book away when you start coming to a game between these two teams.
Really, both of them are very strong in tonight's three quarters. There's some good action in here. Here's some of the stats. In that first quarter, 15 plays, 13 for Berea. Then they added 15, 13, so about even there. 47 to 43 plays, Berea on top.
They have a first down at the 46-yard line of Midpark. Adams tries to pick up some yardage, and he is dragged down by Steve Call as he picks up about 3 yards. That'll make it a 2nd and 7. Just started the fourth quarter. You know, you can't say enough about Kevin Thomas, the quarterback, is only a junior for Berea. And the first game, Dan Novak was injured. He was the starter last year because this is the second year in a row that Coach Mazzi has lost his starting quarterback at the beginning of the season. But Thomas has done a good job filling in. This is Adams again. Adams, only a junior, gets close to the 40-yard line. Pickup of a couple of yards where Todd Kramer brought him down.
It's power football to the short side of the field. Almost a short version of a wing tee, a little offset. Pulling a guard, Bill Arthur, trying to get in front of the quick, strong back, Kevin Adams. Good block by Arthur, enabling Adams to pick up some yards.
Berea will have a 3rd and 5. With the ball just inside Midpark's 41. And Adams goes in motion. And completes this one to Schweitzel. Schweitzel gets enough for the first down as he gets inside the 35, close to the 38-yard line. And he is down hurt. Dave Zoldak got with him just as he got that reception. And this is a great facility that we've got here at Berea.
Certainly,
great
it's
lighting,
nice to have
nice
your
and
coat
warm
off.
inside. And
Can't
coat
beat
off.
this.
That really is. But really, this game has so much on the line. Berea, if they want to make the playoffs, they certainly are going to have to win this game. Of course, for Tom Standring, great coach, he certainly wants to go undefeated and go to the playoffs that way. I think they're assured a playoff berth. Berea, if they win this, getting the second level points with 9 wins that Midpark would have, I think would vault them into the playoffs, depending upon what St. Ed's does against Elyria Catholic and what Padua does against Benedictine. That should be a beauty tomorrow night. You want to see a great football game, that should be it.
Another member of this conference, Rexville, right now is tied for 4th place with Tiffin Columbian in Division II, Region 6. And if Berea would win, their only loss was to Rexville. So all of a sudden, this conference looks like a lot of things could develop here within a matter of 1 quarter of football, either here tonight or at a couple other sites around town.
Well, they've got a computer to tabulate the playoffs, and these coaches will not know whether they're in the playoffs until sometime Sunday afternoon. The Ohio High School Athletic Association will make a call. I'm certain Coach Tom Standring will be getting one of the calls, and I would venture to say that if Berea wins this ball game, they will get 3 points for beating Berea and 3 points for all the 3 teams that Midpark won or beat. Let's start over again. Berea will get 3 points for beating Midpark. For every team that is a Division III or AAA team that Midpark wins, they get 3 points, 2.5 points if it's a Division II school. So that should keep, you know, Berea up there close, but it takes a computer to try and compute all of that.
It really has to, and of course St. Edward's is in 2nd position in that division. They have a tough ball game against Elyria Catholic, so a lot could happen, but all teams they're playing right now look like they have a good chance at it. 3/4 of play, Mike, some of the difference in the stats I think that are important. Rushing yardage for Midpark 52, Berea 184. Quite a difference there. You can see the ground game established. And via the airways for Berea 80 yards and Midpark 132. So there's a little difference you can see, but I think the running game, which has been so strong, and there's the two men, Adams, Vassinelli, have rushed for a combined total of 200 yards. So you can see the strength lies in the rushing game of Berea and somewhat to the passing game of Midpark, with the runners, quarterback Kevin Thomas now looking over at the officials. They still have a ball player down on the sidelines. Of course, that young man would like to get his team ready to go, keyed up. They have the ball. They'd like to move with it, but of course, they'll take their time. They'll wait. They'll be set till the trainers say that everything is okay. Continue to play this football game.
That's Schweitzel. He's number 42, Todd Kramer, was the one who was down from Midpark. Well, good to see that he's a 2-year starter, only a junior, and he started as a sophomore. 6'2", 175 pounds. Just an integral part of that defense for Midpark. Berea now has a first down from Midpark's 32. Adams in no room at all. He just got nailed, probably for a 2-yard loss, and everyone getting up a little slow.
Well, there's a handoff. Adams has nowhere to go. Let's hit helmets, nose guard, and everything else, just driving him down with a kind of a gang tackle in there by the Meteors of Midpark.
Well, Vassinelli tried to put a block in there, but there were 4 Meteors there. So it'll be a 2nd and 12 now for Berea. This is Vassinelli. He jumps his way through second effort, close to the 25. That's good yardage. They'll spot it at the 26.
And off to the fullback, who, after the 11 carries went to Adams, they came to Vassinelli there in the second quarter and has performed ever since. And again on that down, moving up, getting closer to the first down.
Vassinelli now in 10 carries, 130 yards. That means 13 yards per carry. Of course, he had that one 62-yarder, or 82-yarder, which adds an awful lot of... Gets those figures up in a hurry. Adams, look at those moves. Slips one, gets the first down, fighting. Never stops. His legs are churning as he gets inside the 15. Boy, the fans there. And this is a sellout, well over 10,000 people here at George Finney Stadium. They're lined up all around the field and in the stands.
Well, it's worth it just to see that run. You're looking at a back that is so quick to the outside with the speed to the outside, Kevin Adams, and then the power, as we talked about, as we talked in the pregame, like he not only has the speed to get out there, but then you saw him just move that man back for another few yards, the power to go with it, and he's only a junior.
And he's only 5'9".
But he's as strong as they come.
Dan Urban finally had to bring him down. Urban's leaving the field now. It looks like it is his right shoulder. This is a rough game. This is as rough as the Browns against the Steelers. It's got the same thing. In this town, no matter where you went, in the communities of Brook Park, Middleburg Heights, and Berea, it's either go Meteors or go Braves. Ball's on the Midpark 13. Adams gets the call. Just jukes his way inside the 10, close to the 11. And we're just inside 9 minutes remaining in the ball game, and Berea's got that 11-point lead, 17-6. And Urban comes back in the lineup. Out comes Jerry Fauski, and in goes Greg Mambuka, because they think that maybe they could put Mambuka in there for passing, or because he's got more mobility. Huska's 305 pounds. Adams may have picked up a couple of 3 yards as he gets to the inside the 10 to about the 8. Kevin Adams now not closing in on 100 yards, and his longest was only 17. He had one for 17 and one for 13. So he's getting his 100 yards the hard way. 8 minutes exactly remaining in the game. 3rd and 5. This one pitched to Adams. He tries to get outside, and good pursuit by Midpark, led by Dan Urban. They force Adams out of bounds. That stops the clock with 7:52 to go in the fourth quarter.
Trying to use up some of that time on the clock, and it's a fourth and short yardage to go. They had the third down. They didn't go with the pass. Interesting to see now if they try to keep that ball on the ground, using up time, and also moving it down there, not taking a chance of putting it in the air. Or will they have a lot of the room in the field to go to Chris Schweitzer?
Tom Madzi, great coach, 20 years, magnificent record of his 20 years. They're going to go for it. They've got a 4th and 3. If they don't make it, Midpark will have the ball on their own 7. Over in, completes, touchdown. Pulling this one in, Terry Elko for his 6th touchdown of the season. And Elko, that's only his first reception, but it got Berea 6 points, and now it's 23-6. Nice pass by Kevin Thomas. Brian was talking about Adams being a junior. Thomas is a junior. Elko is a junior. And Jeff Jones will be punting. Will be trying for the point after. Carpelati, also a junior, will be holding. Just perfect form by Jeff Jones. And now it's 24-6. You've got to remember what is happening on this field. Midpark is averaging 30 points a ball game, and they've only giving up 7 a game.
They decided to go. The pass was 4th down. They hit Terry Elko coming across the middle on a 6-yard pass reception for the touchdown to put them really out in front now. So with 7:49 left, Mike, that ball's going to have to go into the air. Midpark is really going to have to go over it, do a lot of things, and most of it would have to be put that ball in the air and get some points on the board, and in a hurry.
As I was saying about the significance of this game, no one scored more than 14, I think, for the season against Midpark, and here Berea's got 24. Berea normally gives up around 10. They've only given up 6. Midpark normally gives up 7. They've given up 24 in this game. You just never know what's going to happen. Brad Burns kicks away. Good high kick. And it's taken at the 15-yard line by Jim Sowinski. And a flag is dropped at about the 30. Let's wait for the official call. Flipping a preliminary call. It's going to be against Midpark, and that's got to hurt. That there is their 4th penalty of the game.
Anytime, of course, a penalty comes, it's the wrong time, I guess, but it really has hurt them, especially earlier when they had a 10-yarder and a 15-yarder to stop their drives. Now in a kickoff
66,
return.
receiving team, 1st and 10.
Illegal block, sets them way back again.
They hung onto the ball. That's to call ball control for a little over 4.5 minutes. And a 6-yard pass gives them a 24-6 lead. And Casto gets away from one, and it's basically even got that ball away. His intended receiver was Dan Bartel. He normally gets up extremely high, and it was slightly overthrown, with Haskin putting a lot of pressure on Casto.
Quarterback rolls out, but he almost rolls out in the arm of Haskin coming across number 90. Oops, goes underneath, ducks. Matt comes back up, spots Dan Bartel down the field, fires a little bit too high. Bartel went up as high as he could. Defensive back not sure if he caught it or not and made the tackle.
I'll tell you, he'd duck too if Haskin came at you, 6'2", 230. 2nd and 10 for Midpark. Casto looking. Again, tries to get to Dan Bartel. Went down the sideline. He just went across to the center. And that stops the clock on the incompletion with 7:28 remaining. 4th quarter. And Berea leading it 24-6. Just a magnificent football game. And no one has left the stadium. Got 2 wide split in to the near side, 2 wide receivers to the far side of the field. Going across the middle, he intended Ted Richardson to come over, but so much pressure being put on Casto because the defense Fort Berea can just lay back their ears and just come. They know they have to throw.
Right, quarterback really just couldn't look over that big line coming in. Matt didn't have a chance. He had Bartell, Richardson, and Fodor. One of them, I guess, was supposed to cut across that middle a bit tighter as the pass was really misdirected.
Standing in his end zone will be Nagy. Or is that Steets? That's Nagy. Gets this one away. Lone returner will be Carpellotti. He'll just let it roll, and it does. Takes a good Midpark roll, gets inside the 30, and will be down at the 30, 28. Make that the 27. So Berea will take over from that point, and now it's ball control time after that 50-yard kick. But no enthusiasm lost by any of the fans around here. Now some of them are starting to leave, but the Berea band has got a lot to be happy about. And Lance Ferentz breaks that huddle for Berea, 6'3", 260-pound center. This goes to Adams. He gets a little bit of running room. Finally is brought down by Scott Myers. That's really got to hurt when you come into the final game of the year, 9-0. But I'll tell you what, these Meteors are not giving up.
No, you wouldn't expect them to. They're a good football team. They have been for the past 4 years, all the time. These young men have played, and of course the last 3 years in the varsity, very strong, having a hard time right now.
2nd and 6 as Adams tries to come outside. He does get outside, across the 40, and pushes away Urban, gets into Midpark territory, and enough for the first down. They say he was driven out of bounds at, I think, the 45 of Midpark.
Just as strong as can be. He's still getting out there fast. The guard, Bill Arthur, coming out, trying to make a block. Finally does a little bit from behind, and Adams takes the stiff arm, throws it out there to his left, and gets another 5 or 6 yards with strong running.
Another first down for Berea at the 45 of Midpark. And Adams going to carry the ball all the time. He gets inside the 40, but a flag is dropped.
Too many men on the field for Midpark. They couldn't get the substitute off the field. They had 12 on the field. So it's a matter of where they place the ball as against the penalty.
Okay, that's the illegal substitute then.
There's Adams. He's got to be awful tired now. He's up to 125 yards and 130 for his partner, Vassinelli.
Well, that's strong. You get two backs running like that, moving with that football with so much pressure on the defense of Midpark, because either one is having just a great night up the middle inside the tackles. Adams to the tackle and to the outside. So it just stretches the defense all across the field. A lot of pressure on the linebackers. And then a quarterback, Kevin Thomas, throwing that ball, putting it up in the air. Thomas has 12 attempts, completed 8 of them, spreading them around to all of his receivers. But the big one has been Schwitzel, the end, 5 for 75 yards.
Illegal substitute, defense, first down over again.
So they'll have 1st and 5.
That's the difference.
Whistle, another flag, and Adams gets the call. Illegal procedure against Berea. That'll take it back 5.
As we look at it here,
Dead
the
ball,
official coming
number
across,
65,
see if we can see the
offense,
movement.
first down and 10.
Had to be to the right side of the bottom of the screen because there wasn't anybody up at the top, but it was against the offense. Berea, 5-yard penalty, just puts it back where we started 2 plays ago.
Carpellotti comes in as a flanker, replacing Boris Hart for Berea. And now they have a 1st and 10 again. And at wing formation, Adams cuts it up. Just barely tripped up by Scott Myers, but Adams falls forward to the 37. Well, he's a durable player, isn't he?
Really is nice. Now they have the guard pulling out there, and that's Arthur, but really going up behind. It almost looked like an ISO block with Vassinelli, fullback, coming up, filling in the hole to the inside And between Arthur and Vassinelli, that's where Adams did his damage.
Just inside, 5 minutes remaining in the game. Berea has a 2nd and 3. They give it to Vassinelli. He just sort of stutter steps his way to about the 45, where Todd Kramer finally brought him down, along with help from an awful lot of other meteors. So that'll bring up a 3rd and about a yard, a short yard. They get to the 34, they'll have a 1st down. And now Adams and Vassinelli all tied up, 132 yards each. 11 carries for Vassinelli and 27 for Adams. 264 yards from 2 running backs. Adams tries to get outside and does. And he's dragged down from behind by Pescura, the senior cornerback. But not until Adams gets another 1st down for Berea. And that's going to just take more time off the clock. Kevin Thomas now, 94 yards. Let's see if he can get 100. Everybody else is, and he's on a bootleg. And I don't know if there's a break in play or that was planned.
I was trying to see the line blocking, although, well, I couldn't really tell. I was watching him. He just went to the outside, but he went so fast. It seemed like that's what he really wanted to do. We get a chance to see it again. I don't know if we have it or not, but quarterback went to the outside and went up the field. He really doesn't run with the ball that much. I doubt if we'll see that ball put in the air too many more times for Berea.
That was only the 4th carry for Kevin Thomas. Again, Adams follows his blockers beautifully as he gets close to the 20, where Pescura again had to come in on a stop. The officials will spot it right on the 20, and it looks like it's enough for the 1st down. And it is. Clock showing 2:56 remaining in the game. Want to thank Tom Madzi and his entire staff for all their help. And from Berea, and Tom Standring, the head coach from Midpark, and all their help and cooperation. And of course, the entire field crew here at Finney Stadium, campus of Baltimore College. So another big 1st down, and now it's ball control, and Vassinelli gets inside the 15. But one of the things that's making Adams work, Kevin Thomas always gives a fake handoff to Vassinelli, unless it's a pitch, of course. And it freezes those linebackers, and then he hands it off to Thomas, and all Thomas has got to beat is that end, and he's usually got a guard pulling.
Yeah, it really does
Just
help.
works.
The only thing it's hard on is the fullback Vassinelli, because he's liable to get nailed each time. But Kevin Thomas gives him a good fake and doesn't give him the ball, because somebody hits him, because when you run over 130 yards, you better be protecting someone like that.
Just inside, 2 minutes to go in the game. We've got Carpelati, the flanker to the far side. This is Vassinelli. And he's brought down for a loss all the way back to about the 17. Joe Nagy was the first one to get to him. Held him up, and then help came. That is they spot this at the 17. So it'll be a 3rd and 7. Now they have Boris Hart as the flanker to the far side of the field. 2 tight ends. Split backs. Pitch out goes to number 22, Ken Elder. Still on his feet. Gets enough of the 1st down as he closes in on the 5-yard line.
Oh, I thought he had to move. I thought he was going to go to the inside and go all the way. Somebody down around the ankle just pulled him back and put him down. Sawinski, 33, stopped it. This is Ken Elder, 22, that's in now in the tailback position, and this time it's just really at the left half spot. Quick pitch to the outside right here now. He's falling for Beasy, the blocker. Looks like he's ready to break away to the inside. Sawinski just pulled on him, pulled him back down, kept him from scoring a touchdown.
So it's 1st and goal now for the Braves from the 6. This goes to Vassinelli. A correction, make that Elder. Did I see a flag or not? Nope, that was just something coming in from the fans. And those are the balls just shy of the 5. It'll be 2nd and goal from that point with a half a minute remaining. And Berea now becomes co-champs with Midpark in the tough Pioneer Conference. This is Elder. And he gets to the 3 with 13 seconds remaining in the game. And Berea will not run another play. And it was, of course, the ground game of Berea, as the Braves had a lot to celebrate. And Coach Madzi gets his grindstone back that he said belongs in Berea. Midpark, tremendous season. Those young men never have to hang their heads. They have a great football team. They'll be getting into the playoffs. And we may have two high school community, both of them making the playoffs.
Can be that close. And of course, there's a very happy head coach, Tom Madzi, here, right up with the conference, and things may look good on Sunday. It'll take a little sorting out to tell. Midpark 24-6. Midpark having a great year, as Mike mentioned. Coach Standering and his staff, great group of young players. And of course, they don't feel very good right about now because of the loss here to Berea Braves, but it'll sink in. They'll understand what a great football club they've had this year and the past few years, and they still have another ball game left or so.
Well, the ground game, the running game of Berea, I guess, says it all.
Boy, was that something. 135 yards for Vassinelli, 13 carries. Adams, 145 yards on 29. Adams started out the game for Berea, and he had the first 11 carries, and then Vassinelli started with it, and of course his big one was that 82-yarder, which he broke loose right up the middle, went to the outside to his offensive left, and moved down the field on an 82-yard run for the score, which made the score at that time 9-0. The kick was good. It was 10-0, and that's when Berea looked so strong, and they continued to rush with that ball.
Turnovers, one fumble lost by Berea, and also one fumble lost by Midpark. Those interceptions become a problem. That was one interception for Berea that they threw that was picked off right near the end zone by Barry Kirk. So turnovers really balanced themselves, but it was just a very tough defense and a great running game for Berea that just gave them the victory, and both these fine schools end up at 9-1.
The total first downs, I guess there was about 17 for the Braves of Berea and 7 for Midpark, so quite a difference there. Third down conversions, 3 of 11 for the Meteors of Midpark, 5 of 11 for Berea.
It's an outstanding ball game. The score, of course, when you see it, it's 24-6. You say, well, that must have been a rout. There was no rout. That was as hard a hitting and as well played a ball game I think you're going to see.
It really was.
Two
good teams, offense, defense, a lot of outstanding football players out on the field.
Final score, once again, 24 for Berea and 6 for Midpark. And so, from George E. Finney Stadium on the campus of Baltimore Wallace College, and for Brian Powers, Ken Price, our statistician, Steve Monchuk, who filled in for Dennis as a spotter. I want to thank you so very much, Steve. You're a big help. This is Mike Massa saying good night from all of us at WVIZ Sports.
Tonight's game was made possible by the Cleveland Browns, proud supporters of high school football in the greater Cleveland area. The Pepsi-Cola Bottling Company of Cleveland, bottlers of Slice and Diet Slice. And the East Ohio Gas Company, the Sunshine People, who bring natural gas to more than 1 million people in Northeast Ohio, heating homes, cooking meals, and providing energy for industry.